Going to be talking about some new happenings here at Randy's Custom Rifles. Here's where I'm going to start. For a year and a half or more, I built rifles on terminus actions, designed and manufactured by Joel Rosso of Terminus. All along from the very beginning, I was never told of any delivery time, and this gradually got to be quite a problem. I would inquire, and at first, I'd get them when I'd inquire in a short period of time, and then gradually it got to the point where he got a bit busier and he would not answer a phone. And I'd have to email to find out when I might be able to get something. And it got so ridiculous to the point that when I'd inquire, when I'm finished with it, you'll get it. Well, that really doesn't get it. I'm trying to run a business here, and I'm trying to satisfy my clients. And if he can't take care of his clients, I can't take care of you folks as clients. I totally have dropped terminus actions because of his terrible business ethics, doesn't care attitude, and one thing or another. So from that, I'm going to show you some actions that I've done quite a bit of research on before I've taken this on. And this is an action here made by Mack Brothers in Sturgis, South Dakota. This is a very, very nice action. This is a stainless action. It has a very slick bolt. Bolt's as slick as can be. It's got a slick black nitride on the bolt. It has an outstanding finish, an outstanding machine job. I've built quite a number of rifles already on this action. I've had excellent results. The bases are screwed on and pinned on to the action. These are Picatinny bases screwed on and pinned on to the action. And anyway, this has got a unique trigger mount here. You simply unloosen a screw here, take that screw out, drop this out the bottom, and then the trigger is pinned into this trigger mount that goes in the bottom of the action. This is an advancement over what Remington design was with having to drive two pins through there. You still have to do this, but the pins go in reasonably freely without a lot of resistance, and then you just simply pin this to the trigger, tip this in here, one screw holds this down. It works out outstandingly. The bolt opens very, very well. It's got a good cam distance. In other words, when you bring the bolt up, the bolt cams back, and that gives you extraction power when the bolt cams back. This has got a good distance of cam back. It works very, 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 very well. This action is all stainless. It's got an outstanding finish on it, you see, and they're done very, very nicely. It's got a nice bolt stop, very easy to release. You simply insert the bolt, slide it into the action, works very, very well. And I'm going to mention something here. It's got probably one of our best extractor styles here. Got one of our very very best extractor styles here. An AR-15 type of extractor. It's not specifically that, but it's very similar to it. It is installed differently. It is somewhat different, but it's still described as that basic sort of design. But it's Mack Brother's own design derived from that. So there you are. This is called the EVOII stainless action. Now you can get this in a standard action, standard bolt face, which is 30-06. You can get it in magnum bolt face, which is like 300 Winchester, or you can get it in a larger bolt face, like a Lapua type of a bolt face. You can get it in the long action. The long action comes for the long Wyatt extended magazine box, and you can get it in a short action. The short action comes with a 3-inch box instead of a 2 and 850 box. That gains you 150 thousandths overall cartridge length for that length of box. Lately, most everybody that's doing the long actions is machining everything for the long Wyatt box. So we have this extra room to seat bullets out. Works very, very well. And with the follower and spring that I provide, and the quick detachable floor plate, opens quick release, I should say, not detached, quick release floor plate. Feeds very, very well. Right off the follower. Very excellently. Now, this is another Mack Brothers action. This action is a lightweight action. It's basically the same action, but it's been black nitrided. It also comes with a standard bolt face or a magnum bolt face, and just like the other Mack Brothers, it's got a fluted bolt. This is fluted, spiral fluted. These are basically broken up flutes on the standard action. I'll pull it out here. You can see it. There's not any flutes right on the bottom. This is an aid, as far as I'm concerned, in the way that it works. And this bolt has got the spiral flute all the way around it. Everything has been lightened. It's got a very small shroud here on the end of the bolt. It's got lightning cuts on the action to reduce the weight. This is called the element. This is the lightweight action. This action is 6 ounces lighter than the EVOII. It's a very nice looking action. Worked just the same as the other Mack Brothers action. This action, the other Mack Brothers action, are priced very, very reasonably. In fact, probably the best dollar value of anybody making custom actions anywhere, irregardless. And they're very good to do business with. There's no problem with delivery. Very accommodating. Are interested in business. I've also done further research, and I have added another action to Randy's Custom Rifles. This is an action put out by Lone Peak, and it's called the Fuzion. This is an all stainless action. It's an absolutely beautiful action. Instead of being round, it's got flats all the way around. I think there's like 16 flats all the way around. This has got an integral machine, Picatinny rail, front and back. It's got lightning cuts here to reduce some weight. And this style of doing an action like this with all these flats actually lightens the action somewhat because you're taking material off. And it's got a very slick operating bolt. Again, black nitrided bolt, and got a very nice bolt release. It's got the AR-15 style extractor, exactly like what it is. And the other is that the Mack Brothers have is a derivative, basically, as I describe it, but basically they do the same thing. And this is very, very high quality. Obviously, there's more detail here. There's more machining, more manufacturing time here. So this action is a bit more expensive action than the other two actions. Now, got a nice bolt stop here. Works very, very well. And everything, of course, except a Timney Remington style trigger. That's what all my rifles will come with. All these custom action, they'll be all Timney triggers. It will not be Trigger Tech triggers because I had a problem with one. They completely froze up. It was useless. You couldn't do anything with it. So that's not, you know, a workable situation in my mind. And a matter of getting some dust or dirt into the trigger, whatever it might happen to be, completely froze up. The way that's made, you can't do anything with it. It's just junk. So this is what my rifles, for the most part, will be built on. Now, you need to understand that I'll build a rifle on most any action, but this is what I'm offering here from Randy's Custom Rifles. These are right-hand actions. The Lone Peak action, I can do a rifle on left-hand action. It'll be the same action, but it'll be left-hand. Mack Brothers doesn't make left-hand actions, and I can understand why, because there's not very much call. And anyway, this is what I'm doing, and I've stayed with the same Macmillan fiberglass stock styles. The Macmillan Hunter, a lightweight Macmillan Hunter's Edge stocks. The Hunter's Edge stock is a classic stock with no cheek piece. Got checkering in the grip area, and in the fore-end area it's a slim, very lightweight stock for a lightweight rifle. Not entirely limited to my ultra lightweight rifles. Can be built, you know, as a standard weight rifle, you see. But anyway, the Macmillan Hunter's Edge stock, all of them, because of the way that they're made and everything else, the two colors that I offer are McWoody. They describe it as McWoody at Macmillan. The other color is an olive green with black and gray specks. This is painted. They look very, very sharp. That's not entirely limited to those colors, but that's what I offer as a rule. Now the Macmillan Hunter stock, I offer it in a McWoody color and the olive green with black and gray marble pattern. Accelerator pads, glass bedded, and so forth. And these stocks are virtually indestructible as far as any type of reasonable use. Last you many, many lifetimes. The Macmillan marble pattern molded in color stocks. So anyway, these are some of the new things going on at Randy's Custom Rifles. I believe that you'll find you have an excellent and outstanding rifle built on any one of these actions here. And within a reasonable delivery time for a rifle build, and so forth. So rifles mostly built on these actions here, running somewhere around a 7-month turnaround time, give or take a bit. And anyway, as I said before, I can build a rifle on most any other action. That's obviously a special order situation, and you know, I offer rifles built on Winchester Model 70, the current Winchester Model 70 control round claw extractor Model 70, and of course I can barrel and build a rifle on most any suitable action that's strong enough to handle the cartridge that it's barreled and chambered for. So anyway, that's the situation, and I can build wood stocks around these actions, wood stock rifles. You got to understand that these are labor intensive and cost many times more than a simple molded finished fiberglass stock. It's a vast difference. So don't think for a moment that you're going to get a rifle for the same price. You know, it's going to be a lot higher, you see, by a great amount for a handmade wood stock. So, and of course, I offer such a great multitude of chamberings, as long as it's a cartridge that's reasonable, a cartridge that's easily fed from the magazine, and any of these actions, I can build it. I'm not limited to 4 or 5 cartridges or something like that. I know what works the best. I have things that I suggest, but I build more than anything else, and you know, and that may very well suit you. But we've got a few rifle nuts out here that prefer maybe something a little bit more, a little bit different, a little bit off the wall, maybe a Wildcat, and I chamber for a lot of Wildcat type cartridges. But you've got to understand, if you're going to some other parts of the world hunting, you're best off with one of the standard type chamberings that ammunition is readily available for, because of being, you know, traveling to some other part of the world in the availability situation, losing things and one thing another. You know, it'd be best to stick with standard type chamberings. So anyway, there we pretty much have it of what's going on here at Randy's Custom Rifles. I'm very, very, very busy.
Do you build custom rifles on Enfields and Mauser actions?
Yes, I build custom rifles on 1917, 1914 Enfield actions, almost all the better Mauser actions, and a lot of other actions. You know, people ask me if I build rifles on Weatherby Mark V's. Of course I do. You know, build them on almost anything that, as I said, will handle the cartridge from a safety standpoint, pressure-wise, and functionality. So, and I have a vast amount of experience making things work and feed in some of these alterations that have to be done to some of our older actions to be able to accommodate some of our modern different types of cartridges. So, you know, very, very, very few people have that ability. They don't have the first clue where to start, don't know what to do. But, you know, I've been doing this for an entire lifetime, and I've been doing it from the get-go. You know, from the get-go of rifle building. This isn't new. This isn't new to Randy. So, anyway, and I might say that, you know, I can build you as good a rifle on any of those things as any of these other actions. You see, these actions come off the machines absolutely perfect. You see, our older actions, they're done very, very well, but there are things that are done to basically true up these actions and make them a better situation. And I might say that you'll have just as an accurate rifle built around those, if you will, around these other actions. that I've described here, any of these custom actions, because there's a lot of things that come in play to an accurate rifle, and a lot of it comes into play the person that's building the rifle, the experience, and constantly answering emails. Can you build it around this, and can you build it around that? Well, I'm one of the few guys that's got the know-how and the experience to do this. So yes, I can do it.